Bob and Knights. Your friendly neighborhood Star Wars Penguin here, Bob. Well, coming up on Friday, October 30th of 2020, Season 2 of The Mandalorian becomes available to stream on Disney+. So I thought this little Star Wars Penguin could discuss his thoughts on the upcoming season of the show and what we know and what I'd like to personally see. So, if you're a Star Wars Penguin geek like I am, stay tuned to the Force, Bob and Knights. This is the way.
You're listening to Penguin Thoughts. These are the thoughts that penguins are thinking when they were thinking that they were thinking about the thoughts they were thinking when they were thinking them. That is, we think.
In this podcast, we're going to discuss what we already know we can expect in the upcoming Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and what I personally think about the upcoming season, and what I'd like to see in Season 2. So, let's get into it, Star Wars geeks. So let's talk about what we know. First, we're going to talk about the trailer, then also casting. So, in the second season trailer, here's what we have seen. First, hopefully you've seen the Season 1, and also the trailer of Season 2, otherwise, where have you been, living under a rock on Dagobah? Anyway, as we've seen in the trailer, it indicates a few things we can expect for Season 2. Like Season 2 seems to revolve around the plot of the Mandalorian having to find the origin place of Baby Yoda's people, so he can return him to them. Several of the cast from Season 1 will be returning, of course. Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal. Also Cara Dune, an ex-shock trooper played by Gina Carano, and Greef Karga, Mando's Bounty Guild contact, played by Carl Weathers. It also seems from the trailer that they will be helping the Mandalorian on his journey to find Baby Yoda's people and return him to them, a task that the Mandalorian armorer, played by Emily Swallow, has given to Mando. This is the way. We also hear in the trailer the armorer talks about battles between that of Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called the Jedi. We then see Mando walking on a dock and a mysterious hooded woman, played by Sasha Banks, watching him with great interest, indicating maybe that she could be a Jedi or a Sith or maybe something else. So, looks like maybe the whole second season is about Mando trying to return Baby Yoda to his people. So let's talk about casting. So let's talk about the possible additional casting that has been in the media for Season 2. The most notable casting for Season 2 is that of Rosario Dawson, who is supposed to be playing Ahsoka Tano. I get into a little bit later who Ahsoka Tano is if you don't know. But that is pretty big news for Star Wars fans to see a live-action version of Ahsoka. Another notable casting is that of Tamura Morrison, who played Jango Fett in Star Wars II: Attack of the Clones, and also is supposed to be playing Boba Fett, the clone son of Jango, who is a Mandalorian armor-wearing bounty hunter that supposedly met his demise in Star Wars VI: Return of the Jedi when Boba Fett fell into the Sarlacc pit. So this casting would indicate that obviously Boba Fett survived. Then there is Timothy Oliphant, who has been cast in an unknown role in Season 2. And only one could guess who he might be playing, but some reports indicate it might be the character of Cobb Vanth, who is a former slave that becomes the self-appointed sheriff of Tatooine after the fall of Jabba the Hutt. That should be interesting. Then there is Sasha Banks. We saw in the trailer as the mysterious hooded woman watching Mando on the docks. Should be interesting who she turns out to be during the season, either friend or foe. Okay, so now let me spend the next few minutes talking about what I would personally like to see in Season 2. These are just my thoughts on what I would like to see in Season 2, but I have no idea if any of this will happen or is what is actually going to happen in Season 2. So take it with a grain of sea salt to put on your fish. I have read several articles and watched several videos, all speculating the events and who we might see in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. So here is this little Star Wars Penguin's thoughts. First, seeing a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosario Dawson, will be cool and give us an update to what the former Jedi has been up to. For those of you who do not know who Ahsoka is, she was first seen in the animated series Star Wars The Clone Wars. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Star Wars Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels, I will be talking for the next few minutes about Ahsoka and who she is in those two series. So, you have been warned. So as we know, during the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker, who has become a prominent Jedi in his own right, still needs to grow as a Jedi. So the Jedi Council feels that one such way that might cause Anakin to be more responsible and mature as a Jedi, the Jedi Council gives him a Padawan. That Padawan is a young Ahsoka Tano. And during the seasons of the series of the Clone Wars, they both grow very close to each other and very endearing to Anakin, and vice versa, as the Jedi Master and their Padawan should be. There comes a point in the series, though, however, where Ahsoka no longer feels that the Jedi Council can be trusted based on the way they have treated her. So she leaves the Jedi Order and is considered no longer a Jedi. So when Order 66 comes about at the end of Star Wars 3 Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin turns to the dark side, Ahsoka was not around. She was not a Jedi anymore. And we later see the continuation of Ahsoka's story in the animated series Star Wars Rebels, where she actually comes across Anakin, her former master, now as Darth Vader. And they duel. And Ahsoka barely escapes with her life with the help of Jedi Ezra Bridger. So, this should be interesting to first see how Rosario Dawson plays Ahsoka, and also getting an update on what Ahsoka has been doing, what she's been up to, where she's been, and what's been happening to her. I'm not sure how or when she will show up in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I just know that she has been cast. Second, with the casting for Boba Fett, another Mandalorian bounty hunter, I think it will be good to see what has actually happened to him and what role he is going to play in Season 2. It's interesting that this kind of indicates that he has escaped the Sarlacc pit at the end of Star Wars 6 Return of the Jedi. So, what's he been up to since then? Or are we actually going to see him actually escape the pit? Who knows, but that'd be cool to see. Also, since this show is centered around the Mandalore culture, it would also be cool to see Sabine Wren, another Mandalorian who at one point in Star Wars Rebels had the dark saber that now Moff Gideon, played by Giancarlo Esposito, has in his possession at the end of Season 1 of The Mandalorian. So I'm just speculating here, but I think the mysterious hooded woman we saw in the trailer for Season 2 could actually be Sabine Wren. And maybe she is there to help Mando with his quest, and also maybe seek Mando's help in getting the Darksaber back from Moff Gideon for the Mandalore people. Next, one thought I think would be cool, since The Mandalorian does take place 5 years after the events in Star Wars 6 Return of the Jedi, it might be cool to see a cameo or references to at least Luke Skywalker. To me, this makes sense, because the only Jedi at this point that we truly know of that are still around is just Luke. Ahsoka is no longer a Jedi anymore, so she doesn't count. And of course there's Leia, but she hasn't been trained yet or is just starting her training by Luke. So who else maybe knows more about Yoda's people or things about Yoda other than Luke himself, who was trained by Yoda on Dagobah in Star Wars 5 Empire Strikes Back? So maybe Luke might be involved in helping Mando find Baby Yoda's people. It's not like they can Google it, and Luke would be the foremost authority at this time on Yoda's people and on Yoda. So, right now that's about all the things I would like to see in Season 2. There are quite a few other things I would love to see in the Mandalorian series, but I'm sure those things might be in later seasons and not in Season 2, so I'll save those thoughts and ideas for another time. So, I hope you enjoyed this little Star Wars Penguin's thoughts on the upcoming Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I would be curious to what thoughts and ideas you might have about what you would like to see in Season 2. So, please feel free to leave a comment with me to let me know. Hope to hear from you. Anyway, I hope you decided to come back and listen to more podcasts from yours truly, and if you're so inclined, I also have a YouTube channel where I make rather silly videos, as well as other social media sites, which are all linked on my Anchor podcast page, and I would be greatly honored if you would come and visit and even subscribe. And as always, I am the crazy and silly Star Wars penguin named WhataboutBob, and I'm out the window because the door is shut. So may the Force be with you, and go watch Season 2 of The Mandalorian. This is the way. Later, peeps.